Hey, you guys, and welcome back. Today, uh, I want to talk about our latest fatal police shooting of a Seattle black woman named Shirlena Laus. Um, the shooting took place on Sunday in Seattle, Washington, and Miss Laus um, had contacted the police to come to her apartment to investigate a burglary of a Xbox from her home. Um, she greeted and not first of all, when the officers arrived at the apartment, you could hear them on the body cam discussing who this woman was. So they were familiar with Miss Laus. Um, Reportedly, she was arrested earlier this month uh, for domestic violence and something else, but they were aware of her and her mental disability. But the two officers arrived at her apartment, and you can hear on the body cam, they greeted her at the front door. She greeted them calmly. She explained that an Xbox video game was stolen, and they said there was a bag of clothes on her bed. Looked like someone had just tumbled them. But after the officers repeated out loud what was stolen, the encounter suddenly took a turn for the worst. Needless to say, you can hear the officers saying, get back," which the officer said that Miss Lyles was clutching a knife. And you can also hear Miss Lyles responding, "Get ready," and she cursed. And one officer instructed the other officer to tase her. I mean, this woman was 30 years old, and they said she was a very small woman. I mean, they said she didn't even weigh 100 pounds. So, I agree with the first officer instructing the other officer to tase her. But I mean, seconds later, you can just hear both officers allegedly fired. I know at least 5 shots, killing Miss Lyles in her apartment with her 3 children watching. And family members said that Miss Lyles was pregnant. And boy, this is boy, it blows me away. You're talking about deadly force. I mean, this was overkill. It was no reason, for the officers to, even if she did have a knife, 2 officers and a woman who is 90 pounds wet, uh, you know, that shouldn't have happened. I mean, killing her like it was hunting season. I mean, both officers firing at this poor woman. This is now if any case has been classified as using deadly force, this is it. This is it. And this is not Seattle's first time with using deadly force. In 2012, the Justice Department investigated, and the police department was placed under a federal consent decree that they were using deadly force in encounters with people with mental illnesses. You know, they've got to do some better training than this, with people with mental illness and people of color. I am so tired of hearing after a person of color is shot 5 to 10 times, they're saying, "Oh, I was um afraid of I was scared for my life. I shot." I am so tired of hearing that. If just people of color uh makes someone an officer shoot that many times, I mean, there's got to be training. There's got to be some more training enforced. uh this is just a tragedy. And they have the original audio of the what happened on YouTube. So if you will, you can look for that. But man, oh, and it was said that the reason they didn't use the stun gun or the taser, they didn't have one. And under Seattle, the police department has said that it is required that officers carry one uh, less lethal force option, such as pepper spray or taser. And in this situation, I think good old pepper spray or taser would have worked with this situation, but apparently they didn't think that. Um, the police department has placed the two officers, who they haven't publicly stated their name, on paid administrative leave while this is under investigation. I know that the chief of police had uh, been interviewed, and she called the shooting a horrible tragedy. Um, and it is. My heart goes out to the Lau family. Uh, and my prayers are with them, because I know they are distraught, and we've got to do something. We've got to do something, because and then I'm going to be looking at this case real closely to see what the punishment is for these officers, because lately, they have been getting acquitted, and it's really sad. It is. Uh, I know. I would bet the house on it. If this woman was a Caucasian woman, 90 pounds, it would have not resulted in death. Not resulted in the deadly force that was implemented on Mrs. Lyles. All right, that's my opinion. And just like always, hit the comment button and let me know how you feel about this shooting. And until next time, bye bye.